Ooh! That's factory.
Factory, huh?
Wow. That's a really nice wine from...
It is, mate. It's the best wine. It's the Grange of noise.
Yeah. That's going to the start of the video. Welcome to Grassroots Garage. I've got EJ. What am I looking at?
Mate, you're looking at 750 horsepower of awesome.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Look at this. Wow, they've really crammed it in there.
Yeah, 11 second quarter miles, 2.5 tonne.
That is sick.
On this episode of Grassroots Garage, we have the man behind Royal Purple in Australia, Ian EJ Jones.
We're out here at Sydney Motorsport Park, and there is an absolute weapon of a four-wheel drive here that I'm very jealous of. It's EJ's car. EJ, thanks for your time.
Pleasure, Mark.
Tell us about your car.
One of Chrysler's greatest creations, actually. I think the greatest in a long time. They got bored with putting Hellcat engines in sedans, and they thought, well, why not take a pretty normal people mover, being the Grand Cherokee, and shove a Hellcat engine in it.
So that's how it comes out of the factory, looking like that.
Yep, except
Wow.
for the air intake. It's the only thing that's been changed.
Okay.
Yep.
What was the normal air intake? It was just
Right here, yeah.
gearbox
Yeah, it had the bell mouth there to just read noise emission for compliance, but this is probably the only air kit that complies with ADR rules in Australia, because when you shut the hood, it conceals the air intake.
Beautiful.
So,
Look at that.
and I need to be in the know with who I rub shoulders with these days.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Make sure it's all... So these are factory brakes?
Factory brakes.
Massive.
Yes.
Absolutely massive.
Yeah, 410mm front rotors. Biggest rotors they've ever fitted to a Grand Cherokee, actually.
And Brembo's all round.
Brembo's all round, yep. Factory, yep.
Bigger diffs or the same diffs, SRTs that normally...
Yeah, the SRT, which I had prior to one of these, but the difference with the ZF8, or they call it a torque flight, but it's a ZF transmission, is the transfer case. The transfer case chain, you could almost call it a steel belt. It's that huge. But typically we're about that wide in the SRT, and they're about this wide in these guys, because these have got launch control in them, and they are brutal. And you can dial it anywhere from 0 RPM up to 3,500 RPM. Sweet spot's about 2,700 RPM, because you couple the torque at its right RPM, and these things like get out of Dodge. Seriously quick, yeah.
What's it weigh?
2.4 tonne. Yeah.
So you're launching 2.4 tonne.
Yeah, and typical 0 to 100s, I've seen guys actually crack them at 3.3. Yeah, so, but you'll get out of the box, most normal people can get a 3.7. Yeah.
3.7.
Yes.
2.2 tonne.
Yeah,
It's wild.
2.4, yeah.
2.4, sorry.
It's
2.4.
wild, yeah, and it almost blurs your vision. It's pretty incredible.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From going from a standing start with that weight of vehicle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing bit of kit.
So what made you choose the Trackhawk?
Because I had an SRT for 5 years prior to that, the 6.4, which had the same engine as the highway patrol car in it. And I've always been a Mopar guy. As much as I like my Holden products as well, my GM products. But and as soon as I seen these come out, as soon as I seen the wide body Red Eyes come out with the Hellcat engine, then I seen a Dodge Demon, then they released these things in the US, and I went, mate, if these come to Australia, I'm owning one. And so I jumped on one in May last year. Yeah.
Look at this. I was just saying I could have chosen the Evo, or I could have chosen a leather SUV luxury. I'm getting old.
There's our time attack car just there, bottom right.
Beautiful. Yep. Wow. So answer me this, do you ever get sick of that noise?
Never.
Never?
Never, man. Especially when you go to the office in the dark, come home in the dark, that's what makes the trip worthwhile.
Yeah. Yep. And you look over that bonnet, you've got the intakes there?
Yep.
Or the cooling, I guess that would
Yep.
be? Yeah. They're functional?
Yeah,
Beautiful.
totally functional.
Yep.
And down the bottom, they took the driving lights out on this model to allow more air intake for the braking and the supercharger.
Beautiful. So let's go right back. We'll start with the easy ones first. Tell us about your first, well, easy or hard depending. Tell us about your first car.
The first car, I can even remember the number plate actually. It was JHN094. It was a brown VH Charger 770.
Nice.
That I bought out at, I think it was Plumpton. When Plumpton was paddocks.
That's it. yeah, that's right.
I think I paid $800 for it or something. Yeah.
What would it be worth now?
Oh, a damn fortune.
Yeah.
As they say, steel bumpers.
Yep.
Bring in the bucks.
So, all right, so you got this Valiant Charger. What did you get into next? Well, give us a couple of the car highlights.
They were all Chargers.
All Chargers?
Yeah, I've owned about 8 Chargers. I've had Chargers in magazines. I've had big blocks in them, 440 cubes, 360 nitrous assisted ones, 4 roll cages. Yeah, you name it. They were just my father was a Chrysler guy. He had an S series Valiant, and that was it. And then he bought a brand new Charger in '73, and then I think he owned about 6 Chargers over the years just as second cars. So we had every combo you could think of, triple webbed ones, K-Series engine, X-Chasers,
All of it. Yeah. Beautiful. So if I gave you an unlimited budget, what would you build?
What would I build? Probably a VH Charger, but with late model AA arm suspension, running gear, and a Hellcat engine.
Hellcat engine in it,
Damn right.
that resto mod sort of thing, absolutely.
Yep.
You've got this Hellcat powered VH Charger. I've given you as big a shed as you need. What are we parking in the shed?
What are we parking in the shed? Amongst other things. A Demon.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Straight away.
Yeah. I do have a friend that owns one here in Australia, and I desperately tried to talk him out of converting it from left-hand drive to right-hand drive. I said, just rally rego it and do some track days, just keep it OEM. But he didn't listen to me. So anyway.
Easy conversion?
They make them look good, but they're just not the same. I think factory's factory. You know, there's a lot to be said about it. Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah.
All right, so you've got, all right, we're still going, I want more cars. So you've got the VH, you've got the Demon. What else have we got?
Oh, what else? I've always had a funny thing for an Escalade, actually. I don't know why. They're just a big, cool, cool truck, you know. But, yeah, I'm too big a guy, I think, to want to be getting in and out of a Ferrari or a Lambo. And I got plenty of mates with those too. But maybe a big old Continental GT Bentley would be more my style, mate.
Cruiser.
In the later years, I guess.
Why not?
But this will do for the moment, mate. Yeah.
Beautiful. Give us a bit more about this.
Yeah, one of only 600 ever built GTSR Maloo VF2. And it's got a 7-litre, 1200 horsepower E85 running, looks OEM motor in it, and it's a whole bunch of fun. I always love the utes. I've owned plenty of them over the years. And a really good friend of mine said, mate, you've got to buy one of these because that is it. They've never built them before and they're never going to build them again. So I did that. I waited a year to take delivery of it. And we thought the best thing to do is to protect all the numbers matching factors of it. So we pulled out the original LSA supercharged engine when it only had 600 kilometres on it. And we put an out of the parts catalogue block, cylinder heads, Harrop 2650 supercharger. It's extremely streetable, and it still keeps the car original. So we've got everything to go back in, every nut and bolt, every bit of pre-delivery plastic, so we can have some fun with it, enjoy it, but still protected as a very, very unique vehicle.
Oh yeah, I mean, if we had have known back then about what was going to happen to Walkinshaws and Directors and BT1s, we would have humidified them and put them away.
I know. I actually went to Walkinshaw School at Rosebery because I used to work for GM and knew those cars inside out. Everyone that used to come into the couple of dealerships I worked at, they got assigned to me. So I never would have thought what they would be worth today.
Can we talk Royal Purple for a minute? Give us a bit of the history.
Bit of history. A really great guy by the name of John B. Williams was the founder, who I knew John B. Williams very well. He came up with a proprietary ingredient called Sinolec that he would put to lubricant base stocks. He originally started his time off in industrial. He'd go into plant and equipment scenarios where they had a piece of equipment that was playing up, which they used to refer to as a bad actor. So it had temperature issues, vibration issues, huge energy consumption, and he would formulate lubricants to solve these problems. So basically he took that proprietary ingredient, Sinolec, and they wanted to come up with a name for a lubrication, and they came up with the name Royal Purple because it had a bit of history. The oil is actually dyed purple as well. If you look up the history of Royal Purple, it was back in the Phoenician days where they used to get seashells, crush the seashells and create a dye. And it was a very expensive process. It was allocated to royalty, hence where the name Royal Purple came from. So then he applied this to industrial products and they did very well with it. But subsequently, most industrial guys around the world are car heads. And they said, wow, we're seeing all these great energy savings. You know, equipment's lasting 5-10 times longer than it usually did. Do you do this for cars? So that's where the automotive side came in. But I was fortunate enough to be the first person in Australia to dyno test it for the original importer, who is still my mate today, and we got the opportunity to buy the company off him and package here under licence, the automotive side. We're extremely strong here in Australia and Southeast Asia and New Zealand with industrial. We've got some very, very big clients who are petroleum companies that use it in their plant and equipment. So yeah, it's been a really, really good story.
That's awesome. If I had a car that I really cared about, you're telling me I should be using Royal Purple?
You should be using it in all your cars.
Yep.
You will see an increase in fuel economy, more horsepower, a lot quieter running, and your equipment will last a hell of a lot longer.
Yep. Thing here, you know the 10W40, 20W, what are you running this car here?
That takes a HPS 10W40, which is our street oil range. To be quite honest with you, because I own the company, I run an XPR racing oil in it because I can.
Because you can.
Really, probably an overkill. Our HPS is really suited to anything up to 1500 horsepower. We've had bridge-to-bridge boats win championships on our HPS oil.
So when you say, what's HPS?
High performance street oil. So
Beautiful.
it's built to an application for anything street related or track related. It's E85 tolerant, okay, whereas our racing oil range has more additive pack in it to combat very exotic race fuels like methanol, more so over E85 products.
So what would you run in that Evo over there?
That Evo right there, I'd run anything from a HPS 1040 if he's going to do some big hardcore time attack days. Pretty much say from open class up, probably steer him over to an XPR 1040. Perfect fit in those things.
Say you had an old beater with an old motor in it that was starting to get a bit tired, maybe a Gemini, what would you run in that?
Damn it, Pete, no one cares about what oil you run in the Gem. EJ, what oil do I need for a 1971 Lada? Or an SR20 Turbo 1600? Actually, what about an L Series Triple S Bluebird? What oil would you recommend for that? I don't know about you guys, but when I'm doing 240 on the Autobahn, I like to know my car's engine is well lubricated.
We always advise people before they go over to our products. We ask them the questions that a lot of other oil companies won't ask them. Because of our mechanical background, our engineering background with all our guys, we ask them the simple things. Do you know what your big end and main bearing clearance you're running? Do you know what cylinder leak down you've got at the moment? Just so we can get you into an oil. If you've got a weak ring tension, you might need a heavy viscosity oil.
So it's
absolutely.
nice to talk to an actual professional about,
Absolutely, yeah. And it's good to take the time with a potential customer or an ongoing customer and take in what they're doing and give them the best oil for their application. So they're getting the best they can get. Yeah.
Beautiful. I love that. Well, there you go. Actually talking to someone who actually knows oils for a change. EJ, you're a legend. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks for watching. If you want us to check out that ute, you'll have to leave a comment below. Yep, we'll find a private road to feature it, or we'll take it down to Mexico.